وعلى آل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المكرمين سيما بقية الله في الأرضين ولعن الدائم على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. We should thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for every single moment of this month. We should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to not let this Ramadan be the last Ramadan of our lives, yet inshallah it be the last Ramadan of us being so far away from our beloved Imam of time. We talked about the 31st letter of Nahj Al-Balagha, the letter that Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam wrote as his letter of will to Imam al-Mujtaba alayhi salam 3 years before his martyrdom comes. And this is one of the longest letters of the Nahj al-Balagha, so I'm pretty sure in order to finish this letter, I have to stay after Ramadan here until Muharram, which is not the case. So, but we started, and inshallah, how far we get is what we get covered, and inshallah, the rest of it you can read yourself. Brothers and sisters, Nahj al-Balagha is very important. Usually us as Shias, or those who claim to be followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, and especially Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, usually abandon these books in our bookshelves. And usually we have them, but they're sitting in the bookshelf forever. Just a tip, most of the time, if you just Nahj al-Balagha is this way. Even though the kalam and the word of Amir al-Mu'minin, the literature he uses is very heavy, and especially the Arabic is a bit difficult to understand, needs contemplation and needs mastering in Arabic language and syntax, whatever. But I'm telling you right now, without any prior knowledge of Arabic, if you just read through the translation of Nahj al-Balagha, at least you will understand 70% of it, at least. What is the mistake we do when we want to start reading Nahj al-Balagha? We start, this is a piece of poetry you wrote last year for me. Alhamdulillah. Let me read it then. آن ساعتی خوش است که مستانه بگذرد، یعنی به زیر منت پیمانه بگذرد. روزی ما به دست کریمان آشناست، کفر است پای سفره بیگانه بگذرد. رسد صلوات اللهم صل علی محمد. So sometimes what do we do is that we do read through Nahj al-Balagha. After Sheikh talked about it tonight, let me get a hold of my Nahj al-Balagha. And what do we do? It's a mistake. We start from the beginning. Don't do this. The beginning, it starts with longer khutbahs and sermons of Amir al-Mu'minin, then letters. Some of them are pretty long. You might not be able to finish it. And then what you do is you close up Nahj al-Balagha and you put it back into the shelf, or you close the tabs on your phone and you forget about it. But this is, after the Quran, I would say one of the most important books for all of us, because it's the words of Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam. The recommendation is to recite backwards. So start from the very end. It is the shorter hikmas, the wisdom words. The shorter hikmas. These are short. Start one by one, and then page by page, and then letter by letter, and then sermon by sermon. All of a sudden, by next year, you'll see that you have finished the entire Nahj al-Balagha. And this has been my own personal experience. Anytime in any gathering that I was asked to speak, if I spoke based on Nahj al-Balagha, it would have been super interesting and super useful for everyone, more than anything else. Of course, Quran comes first, but I was speaking to one of my teachers back in Qom, and I asked him, Agha, what would you say to people if you had the opportunity of going to Los Angeles this month of Ramadan? And he said, I will only talk to them about Quran and Nahj al-Balagha, and that's it. So recite a salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So this book has this letter, the 31st letter of Nahj al-Balagha, is written from a father to a son. Amir al-Mu'minin at the beginning could have said, from Ali ibn Abi Talib ila waladihi Hassan ibn Ali. He could have said that and continued with his message. But the starting of this letter itself has so much to say, has so many deep phrases that inshallah we're going to talk about it. The introduction before the letter, from who to who. And Amir al-Mu'minin describes the experience of a father, not just himself as Amir al-Mu'minin, to a son, not just Imam al-Mujtaba, just a son. So a father speaking to his son 3 years before departing from this world. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Min al-Walid al-Fan. From a father who is shortly to die, that sees death as something that is approaching, that believes in death. Not only believes in death for himself, but he sees fana, perishment, as a reality of the life of this world. Al-Muqirr lil-Zaman. Someone, iqrar means this, acknowledgement. The one who is acknowledging, in brackets, the difficulties and hardships of the time. A man who has lived in this earth, who has gone through the most difficult tests and tribulations, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salam, and all the individuals. If you ask the elder members of our community, the respected elder members of the community, they're gonna say, we have gone through a lot until our beards and our hair became white, became gray. It took us a lot. We went through so many ups and downs. You don't know. See, sometimes the parents try to transmit the message of their experiences. The youth will not listen to them. And once I was telling someone, I said, one of the fruits, one of the good advantages of having a child or having kids is that you start appreciating your parents much more, because now you see it from a different angle and different view. Al-Muqirr al-Zaman. Al-Mudbir lil-Umur. Al-Mudbir lil-Umur. Who has turned away from life. I remember one of the Mu'mineen, a community member who passed away 2 years ago in 2021. I was talking to him on the phone and he said, brother, how many more cholo kebabs I'm going to eat? I'm done. Al-Mudbir lil-Umur. Someone who has turned away from the life of this dunya. Al-Mustaslim lid-Dahr. Al-Mustaslim lid-Dahr. Who has submitted himself to the calamities of time. Al-Dham lid-Dunya. Dham comes from the word, it's in the same root of madammat. Madammat. Who realizes the evils of this dunya. When we are young, when we are in early 20s, after being a teenager, we think that this entire world is standing still. We think everything is stagnant. Nothing is changing. So we won't recognize the value of the time. We don't realize the value of the time. And time itself is one of those things that once you lose it, you start knowing the value of it. Once you don't have it anymore, then you start recognizing the value of it. Adhamil ad-dunya. Someone who is seeing the evil of the life of this dunya. As-sakine, masakin al-mauta. See how beautiful Amir al-Mu'minin describes this dunya. He says, who is living in the abodes of the dead. Someone who is dwelling in an environment or in a place that belongs to the dead. Look at the cemetery. That is where the dwellers of the earth are going to end up in. As-sakine, masakin al-mauta. Wa-dha'ina anha ghadan. And the one who is due to depart from this world in any day. الظَّائِنَ مِنْهَا غَدًا. غَدًا in Arabic means tomorrow. Tomorrow. So tomorrow means any day. It's due to depart from this world any day. You got sad? Wait. Don't get sad. Amir al-Mu'min is going to any day soon. الطائن منها غدا. إلى المولود المؤمل ما لا يدرك. To a son or to the son who yearns for what is not to be achieved. Al-Mu'ammal. Mu'ammal comes from amal. Amal means dreams and wishes, right? The Arabs name their daughters, some of them, they name the daughters Amal. Wish, dream. Mu'ammal means someone who has dreams, who has long wishes that will never be achieved. And I reiterate this because I talked about it before. It's a reality, brothers and sisters, especially when we are young, to believing that our abilities are limited, our time is limited, our potentials and skills and everything, there is limitation. And we believe in that. Sometimes we get fakely empowered with the thought that, with the delusion that we can do anything. That is Allah, not us. The more you get experienced, the more you confess on how limited and restricted we as humans are. I can go on till morning and make medical examples only for you. That the knowledge of medicine, with so much advancement till today, there's so many cases, medical cases, that medicine cannot do anything about it. This, they're progressing. This, they're working on it. Yes, the researches are going on and on. But السالك سبيل من قد هلك. He doesn't mean Imam al-Mushtaba in this point. He doesn't mean any father to any son. Anyone, any individual. As-salik, the person who is going, proceeding, treating the path of those who have died. Man halak. This life of dunya and following your worldly dreams only will end up in what? Halaka. That's it. غرض الأسقام والرهينة الأيام. غرض means target or the victim of the ailments. Asqam, sorrows, pains. Everyone is going to be tested in their ways. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أم حسبتم أن يتركوا أن يقولوا آمنا بالله وهم لا يفتنون. Have you ever thought that you will end up claiming that, oh Allah, we have faith in you, and will you not be tested for it? You will be tested in your own way. The best test that can elevate you and make you complete. And your test is different. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala considers your capacity, considers your burden, and tests you. غرض الأسقام والرهينة الأيام. Beautiful, beautiful description. Who is entangled in the worries of the days. Rahina means someone who is in debt. Rahn means rent, right? Right? In both Arabic and Farsi. Rahn. Rahina means is in the rent, or he is in the debt, or he is entangled of the worries and concerns of the life of this dunya. Thank you, brother. Recite the salawat, please. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. When you recite salawat like this, it gives me a message that, inshallah, I should finish early. Recite a better salawat if you want me to finish this very first part. Allahumma salli. See, I know the coma after iftar, so I'm on the same page with you guys. وَالرَّمْيَةِ الْمَصَائِبِ. Ramy is, inshallah, all of you make it to Hajj. Rami means when you do throw, when you throw something. So when we do Ramya Jamarat, we go and there's a stone wall, and then you throw small pieces of stone to a symbol of shaitan. You do Ramya Jamarat. Imam says Ramyatil Masaib. He is a target of hardships. Va'abd dunya. Isn't this describing us? Who told you that there is a happily ever after in this dunya? They lied to you. وَالرَّمْيَةِ الْمَصَائِبِ. He will be hitted by the masa'ib, by these tests and bala and tribulations. Rami, he'll be targeted. It'll come straight at you. وَعَبْدِ الدُّنْيَا. You call it in here the slave of the system. Amir al-Mu'minin calls it Abd dunya, the slave of this world. Oh, how did you spend the first 50 years of your life? Sheikh, well, the very first 10 years I was really a kid. And then the next 10 years I was preparing for my, studies and college degrees and so on and so forth. And then I did my college, and then I got married. Then I worked day and night in order to purchase a house and make sure my kids are going to the right school. And okay, all of that, sure. But when did you have a solitude for yourself? In reality, you have lost 50 years. A mu'min should be like, and I'm talking to myself, like I don't mean anyone specifically. So you should, when you see me from last Ramadan to this Ramadan, you should say, MashaAllah, Sheikh Mahdy has changed much for better. If I'm being still the exact same person, it means I've lost. And when I see each and every one of you, I should say, MashaAllah, their ma'rifah has increased. They're closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the faster you grow, the better. There's no limit. About many of the scholars, it's been said that every month of Ramadan, we were seeing that they were getting thousands of steps closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The light in their face and the iman in their hearts would reveal that the time was not against them, rather the time was for them. And in the daily du'as that are recommended to be recited on these days, we have this. It says, Ya Allah, وَاجْعَلِ الْحَيَاةَ زِيَادَةً لِي فِي كُلِّ خَيْرٍ. Make my life in this dunya an increaser of khair for me in every dimension. The vice versa is what? The opposite of it is what? Oh Allah, take my life away if I'm not adding anything to my dunya or to my a'mal except shar and evil. Be ready. وَعَبْدِ الدُّنْيَا وَتَاجِرِ الْقُرُورِ. تَاجِرِ الْقُرُورِ, a trader of deception. Ghurur means, in Farsi we say, the good translation of it is farib. He tricks other people and other people tricks him. He plots for other people plot for him. Have you seen these people? And day and night will not pass in their lives except that they're busy with plotting and planning and backbiting and gossiping and trying to bring someone down and elevate someone of their choice. تاجر الغرور وعظيم المنايا. غريم المنايا, a debtor of dreams. Muna means wish and dream. He's a debtor. He's in debt of his wishes, a debtor of wishes. Va Asir al-Maut. I think I'm going to finish here and inshallah continue the rest of it. Asir al-Maut. He is a captive, a prisoner of death. In the dua that Hajj Kazim just recited after the Salatul Ishar, what did we say? Allahumma adkhil ala ahli al-qubur surur. Allahumma aghni kulla faqir, all the way to this part. Allahumma fukka kulla asir. Free every captive. And when we say this, we think of some people out there far away in our mind that are being taken captive in battles and wars. But in reality, we are praying for ourselves because we are captive of maut. We are captive of having to live in the time of ghaibah of our beloved Imam of time. In the dua al-iftitah that you recited in many nights of the month of Ramadan, there's a beautiful phrase. He says, وَفُكَّ بِهِ أَسْرَنَا. It doesn't say وَفُكَّ بِهِ أُسَرَاءَنَا. It doesn't say free our captives. He says free us from our captivity. اسیریم. ما را از این اسارت به حق کی؟ به حق امام زمان نجات بده. و فک بهی. This behi refers to our Imam of time. For the right of our Imam of time, free us from the isara, from the captivity, from the imprisonment of our a'mal, our wrongdoings, our shortcomings, our uyub and defects, inshaAllah. Oh Allah, how should I request you? I have no reputation to say this, but for the reputation of the true believers, for those who have a high credit score in front of you, oh Allah, grant us the tawfiq to use the remaining time of the month of Ramadan for our growth and completion, inshaAllah. وَعَدَّ أَنَّا حَقَّ مَا مَضَى مِنْ شَهْرِ رَمَضَانَ inshaAllah. For all the marhumin, the deceased ones, please recite before this, inshallah, tonight we'll recite Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, a very beautiful dua at the end of the Mafatih. It has been located and inshallah we'll recite it together. Very beautiful dua with beautiful phrases and statements. And one of the reasons I want to do this is that so that you get familiar with all of these du'as that we have available to us, inshallah. So for all the marhumin, the deceased ones, scholars, ulama, martyrs, the shuhada, please recite a loud salawat al-Fatiha. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم رب شهر رمضان الذي أنزلت فيه القرآن وافترضت على عبادك فيه الصيام صل على محمد وآل محمد وارزقني حج بيتك الحرام في عامي هذا وفي كل واغفر لي تلك الذنوب العظام فإنه لا يغفرها غيرك يا رحمن يا الله إلهي الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم صل على محمد وآله وبلغ بإيماني أكمل الإيمان واجعل يقيني أفضل اليقين وانتهي بنيتي إلى أحسن النيات وبعملي إلى أحسن الأعمال. اللهم وفر بلطفك نيتي وصحح بما عندك يقيني واستسلح بقدرتك ما فسد مني. اللهم صل على محمد وكفني ما يشغلني الاهتمام به واستعملني بما تسألني غدا عنه واستفرغ أيامي فيما خلقتني له وأغنني وأوسع علي في رزقك ولا تقتلني بالنذر وأعزني ولا تبتليني بالكبر وعبدني لك ولا تفسد عبادتي بالعجب وأجرل الناس على يدي الخير ولا تمحقه بالمن وهب لي معالي الأخلاق وعصمني من الفخر. اللهم صل على ولا ترفعني في الناس درجة إلا حتتني عند نفسي مثله ولا تحدث لي عزا ظاهرا إلا أحدثت لي ذلة باطنة عند نفسي بقدرها. اللهم صل على محمد ومتعني بهدى صالح لا أستبدل به وطريقة حق لا أزيغ عنها ونية رشد لا أشك فيها وأمرني ما كان عمري بذلة في طاعتك فإذا كان عمري مرتعا للشيطان فأقبضني إليك قبل أن يسبق مغتك إلي أو يستحكم غضبك علي. اللهم لا لا تدع خصلة تعاب مني إلا أصلحتها ولا عائبة أؤنب بها إلا حسنتها ولا أكرمة في ناقصة إلا أتممتها اللهم صل على محمد وأبدلني من بغضة أهل الشنان المحبة ومن حسد أهل البغي المودة ومن ذنة أهل الصلاح الثقة ومن عداوة الأدنين الولاية ومن عقوق ذوي الأرحام المبرة ومن خذلان الأقربين النصرة ومن حب المدارين تسهيح المقى ومن رد الملابسين كرم العشرة ومن مرارة خوف الظالمين حلاوة الأمنة اللهم صل على واجعل لي يدا على من ظلمني ولسانا على من خاصمني وظفرا بمن عاندني وهب لي مكرا على من كايدني وقدرة على من اضطهدني وتكذيبا لمن قصبني وسلامة ممن تبعد بي ومن تبعدني ووفقني لطاعة من سددني ومتابعة من أرشدني اللهم صل على محمد وسددني لأن أعارض من غشني بالنوس وأجزي من هجرني بالبر وأثيب من هرمني بالبر وأكافي من قطعني بالسلام وأخالف من اغتابني إلى حسن الذكر وأنا أشكر الحسنة وأغضي عن السيئة اللهم صل على محمد وآله وهلني بهلية الصالحين وألبسني زينة المتقين في بسط العدل وكظم الغيظ وإطفاء النار وضم أهل الفرقة وإصلاح ذات البين وإفشاء العارفة وستر العائبة ولين الأريكة وخفض الجناح وحسن السيرة وسكون الريح وتيب المخالفة وسبق مخالقة والسبق إلى الفضيلة وإيثار التفضل وترك التعيين والإفضال على غير المستحق والقول بالحق وإن عزوا واستقلال الخير وإن كثر من قولي وفعلي واستكثار الشر وإن قل من قولي وفعلي وأكمل ذلك لي بدوام الطاعة ولزوم الجماعة ورفض أهل البال ومستعمل الرأي المخترع. اللهم صل على محمد واجعل أوسع رزقك علي إذا كبرت وأقوى قوتك فيا إذا نسبت ولا تبتليني بالكسل عن عبادتك ولا العمى عن سبيلك ولا بالتعرض لخلاف محبتك ولا مجامعة من تفرق عنك ولا مفارقة من اجتمع إليك. اللهم اجعلني أسول بك عند الضرورة وأسألك عند الحاجة وأتضرع إليك عند المسكنة ولا تفتني بالاستعانة بغيرك إذا اضطررت ولا بالخضوع للسؤال غيرك إذا افتقرت ولا بالتضرع إلى من دونك إذا رغبت فاستحق بذلك خذلانك ومنعك وإعراضك يا أرحم. اللهم اجعل ما يلقي الشيطان في روئي من التمني والتظني والحسد ذكرا لعظمتك وتفكرا في قدرتك وتدبيرا على عدوك وما أجرى على لساني من لفظة فحش أو هجر أو شتم إرض أو شهادة باطل أو اغتياب مؤمن غائب أو سب حاضر وما أشبه ذلك نطقا بالحمد لك وإغراقا في الثناء عليك وذهابا في تمجيدك وشكرا لنعمتك واعترافا بإحسانك وإحصاء لمننك. اللهم صل على محمد ولا أظلمن وأنت متيق للدفع عني ولا أظلمن وأنت القادر على القبض مني ولا أذلن وقد أمكنتك هدايتي ولا أفتقرن ومن عندك وصي ولا أتقين ومن عندك وجدي. اللهم إلى مغفرتك وفدت وإلى عفوك قصدت وإلى تجاوزك اشتقت وبفضلك وثقت وليس عندي ما يوجب لي مغفرتك ولا في عملي ما أستحق به عفوك وما لي بعد أن حكمت على نفسي إلا فضلك فصل على محمد وتفضل علي اللهم وانطقني بالهدى وألهمني التقوى ووفقني للتي هي أذكى واصدع مني بما وأرضى اللهم اسلك بي الطريقة المثلى واجعلني على ملتك أموت وأحيا اللهم صل على محمد ومتعني بالاقتصاد واجعلني من أهل السداد ومن أدلة الرشاد ومن صالح العباد وارزقني فوز المعاد وسلامة المرصاد اللهم خذ لنفسك من نفسي ما يخلصها وأبغ لنفسي من نفسي ما يصلحها فإن نفسي هالكة أو تعصمها اللهم إن أدتي إن أنت أدتي إن حزنت وأنت منتجئي إن هرمت وبك استغاثتي إن كرثت وعندك مما فات خلف ولما فسد السلام وفيما أنكرت تغيير فامنن علي قبل البلاء بالعافية وقبل الطلب بالجدة وقبل الضلال بالرشاد واكفني مؤونة مأرة العباد وهب لي أمن يوم المعاد وامنحني حسن الإرشاد اللهم صل على محمد وادر عني بلطفك واغضني بنعمتك وأسلني بكرمك وداوني بصنعك وأظلني في ذراك وجللني رضاك ووفقني إذا اشتكلت علي الأمور لأهداها وإذا تشابهت الأعمال لأزكاها وإذا تناقضت الملل لأرضاها اللهم صل على محمد وتوجني بالكفاية وسمني حسن الولاية وهب لي صدق الهداية ولا تفتني بالسعى وامنحني حسن الدعاء ولا تجعل عيشي كدا كدا ولا ترد دعائي علي الردا فإني لا أجعل لك الندا ولا أدعو معك الندا اللهم صل على وامنعني من السرف وحسن رزقي من التلف ووفر ملكتي بالبركة فيه وأسر بي سبيل الهداية للبر فيما أنفق منه اللهم صل على وکفنی معونت الاکتساب، همه عمرم و دنبال کار دوندگی نکنم، یه وقتی برای عبادت تو کنار بذارم. ورزقنی من غیر احتساب، روزی معنوی و مادی زیاد کن، جایی که دیگه مشغول نشم جوری که نتونم عبادت تو بکنم. فلا اشتغل عن عبادتک بالطلب ولا احتمل اسر تبعات المکسب. اللهم فاطلبنی بقدرتک ما اطلب و اجرنی بعزتک ما ارهب. اللهم وسن وجهی بالیسار ولا تبتذل جاهی بالاقتار. فاسترزق اهل رزقک واستعطی شرار خلقک. فافتتن بحمد من اتانی بحمد من اعطانی و ابتلا بذم من منعنی و انت من دونهم ولی الاعطا والمن. اللهم صل علی وارزقنی سعة فی عبادم و فراغا فی زهادم و علما فی استعمال و ورعا فی اجمال. اللهم اختم بعفوک اجلی و حقق فی رجاء رحمتک عملی و سهل الی بلوغ رضاک سبلی و حسن فی جمیع احوالی عملی. اللهم صل و آله و نبهنی لذکرک فی اوقات الغفلة واستعملنی بطاعتک فی ایام المهلة وانهج لی الی محبتک سبیلا سهلا. اکمل لی بها خیر الدنیا والآخرة. اللهم صل علی محمد و آل محمد و آله که افضل ما صلیت علی احد من خلقک قبل و انت مسل علی احد بعد. و آتنا فی الدنیا حسنه و فی الآخرة حسنه و قنا برحمتك عذاب